Glad to be on with you, Tony. I'm sorry I missed you this morning, but you're right. There was a great crowd, and they were enthusiastic, and we had a lot of folks there that support the right to traditional marriage for men and women to have the healthy relationships that build healthy families and healthy kids.
You know, as a member of Congress, and you're dealing with a lot of the issues that a lot of folks never see, but, you know, government is kind of the last stop to fix problems. I would argue they're not the best to fix these problems, but they have to deal with the problems. And a lot of these problems are created by the breakdown of the family, which the redefinition of would only accelerate.
You're exactly right, Tony. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, let's talk about poverty, for instance. The single largest determinant, the single best indicator of whether or not a child is going to be in poverty or not is whether or not they were raised by a two-parent household or a single-parent household. And so the breakdown of the family has contributed to poverty. It's contributed, you look at what's going on in Baltimore today, and
right.
you see the issues that are raised there. And healthy marriages are the ones between a man and a woman because they can have a healthy family and they can raise children in the way that's best for their future, not only socially but psychologically, economically, from a health perspective. There's just nothing like the traditional marriage that does that for a child. Each of us have a mother and a father, and there's no way to get around that.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You wouldn't be here without a mother or father. And the social science, as you said, is complete in that it shows that children do best when they have a mom and a dad. It's not two caregivers, because if it were just two caregivers, three might be better, or four or five. No, it's a mom and a dad. They need both. But beyond the core issue of the family and society as a whole, there's another aspect of this when you have all of these states, 31 states that have gone to the polls where the voters have affirmatively expressed support for protecting the natural definition of marriage. To have the courts simply come in and just overrule that, kick all of that out, 9 justices on the United States Supreme Court, that is, I think, a real threat to our republic and our form of government. Do you not, as well?
I agree. It's very scary to think about the fact that the over 50 million voters in this country that have voted to affirm marriage between a man and a woman may have their views overturned by a big, heavy-handed federal government. That's scary. I mean, 80+% of the citizens in this country don't want the government getting involved in the federal government getting involved in this issue. The federal government is going to get it wrong, and so I think we need to rely on the knowledge that people have back in our communities and back in our state to address this issue, not judges in any court.
So there you have it. I think Drew, go ahead. I think you want to say
something.
Yeah,
just to kick it off, I'm always just totally thrown aside when I had to ask, why the fuck are people still voting Republican? I'm sorry, if you're on the fence on whether or not these people are sane, it's at this point it's beyond reasonable doubt. These people are fucking morons.
Because a lot of people don't care about fucking civil rights or human rights, I think.
Like, Jesus, dude, and it's goddamn.
They care about
their
fucking guns.
Not only are they morons, but they're morons in power. They're in the power to make and pass these kinds of laws. Like, having a bunch of idiots is going to be a problem of any society. But having a society where you vote those idiots into positions of power, that's where the real problems start. And you end up with shit like, people who smear and lie and constantly accuse others of flip-flopping because that's what they do. And so the projection works, and it works on all this vast amount of the population. Obviously, in order to get this, like, people like Sarah Palin were elected into power. Louis Gohmert was a fucking judge. Nancy Grace was a prosecutor. The amount of dumb in America, like America's powerful, is fucking scary. I mean, it's a stupid amount of stupid that is in charge of the laws that govern your life and how your daily activities happen and what can happen to you, and they're all about like lower taxes, lower taxes, lower taxes. But then you look around and like it hurts when you lower taxes, because then that means they have to like raise fines and fees and shit on everyone, and property taxes have to go up if you drop the state taxes and count all kinds of shit. You have to account for everything. And I think if people knew that they were taxed a lot, but they knew that money was going towards the right things, they would have a lot less of a problem paying higher taxes.
Right.
I agree.
I guess is the point. And I know that diverges from the topic, but it's an argument that they constantly make, and I'm kind of sick of it. And so fiscally conservative, I think, raise taxes on everybody, just a lot more on the rich, the ultra rich anyway. And I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm rambling.
Go, Drew.
I was going to say that it seems like the fiscally conservative, what they mean is lower taxes, but keep spending a lot of money on the fucking military, because that takes a lot of our budget, right? The federal budget each year is going towards Department of Defense or just military in general, and not towards the troops, towards equipment, towards contractors, towards all that crap, right? They still love that. They want all that money to continue, but they want the money for the other programs to kind of go away. That's what they mean when they say fiscally conservative.
One thing I want to touch on before I don't know if Drew, and we'll get dprjones in here, is realize that, and this is a reason why I'm saying this, as you'll understand, is Texas is ranked 46th in education. All right. And they stated here, at least the one guy stated here.
We can all tell. We can all tell.
Here we go.
Drew is from Texas, and he's stupid as fuck.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, they're trying to
not that my state's any better.
No, they're trying to put fried food back in school at Texas. They took it out like 15 years ago, and they're like, someone's fighting for it. They're like, hell no, I want to put fried food right back in Texas schools.
My barbecue.
What was
Drew
it again,
wants to know
Joe?
who it is so he can go
Williams.
vote for him.
What place was it again, Joe?
That'd be Texas, where Drew lives.
Yeah, no, what place?
Debbie, Texas.
Well, the T on your head means taint. It doesn't mean fucking Texas. There, Paul. It's just okay.
Actually, this is Tennessee Volunteers. No. Okay. What place is it? Texas again? You said 40-something.
46th in education. Yeah.
Fuck. Arizona actually beats it out as 47th.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck.
What a dumbass.
You two seem dumb
Yeah,
right now.
even dumber.
I know. Except that.
Okay.
It's the Skeptic taint show.
No, what I want to say here is they stated here, at least one of the guys stated, that legalizing gay marriages would accelerate poverty. Well, I want to really touch on poverty a little bit. Poverty, in my own opinion, this is my opinion, of course, what I research is, it really has nothing to do with traditional marriage would include like no poverty, or gay marriage would include, in his view, poverty. Some of the causes of poverty include change in trends in a country's economy, lack of education, like I just touched on with Texas. High divorce rate is one of them. Which we know Christians, there's a very high divorce rate compared to gay marriages or unions and stuff like that, which I'm going to get into in here in a little bit. Having a culture of poverty, of course, overpopulation, opportunity, epidemic diseases also is a pretty big key point here, I think, is also for women not be able to have say or control of their own reproductive rights. I think that's a fine example there. Brainwashing teens with a pro-life stance. I'm sort of pro-life and pro-choice at the same time, but I won't get into that here. And what I want to say here is brainwashing teens and pro-life stances, creating laws where they have to shove probes up females' cooter report, to fear children and or adults, and to keeping a child, okay? I have a strong viewpoint when it comes to that. I'm for like trying to keep a child as much as you can. If you have parents that can help you out financially, that's fine. But if you're raped, I think they should have the choice, no doubt, to have an abortion. Okay, to keep it short on my viewpoint. But what I want to bring up here is a William Institute study, December 2014, which I will quote here, is the average divorce rate for same-sex couples was just 1.1% annually, compared to an average of 2% divorce rate of heterosexual couples. So I just want to put that out there, that if he thinks like, divorce is a mother and a father, and, gays are basically going to, gay marriages are going to accelerate poverty, he's flat out fucking wrong. So
And
the stats would.
I don't know.
This would.
I don't know about you guys, but like in my area, when they gentrify things around me, when the what used to be a really actually kind of crappy area near me here, in my city, they've gentrified it, and it's more of like a gay area now, and it's actually let's see, not as impoverished as it once was.
And why? Because there was opportunity there, maybe.
Yeah, there's actually opportunity. They put more money into it, but his idea is what? Oh, if the gays move in, they're gonna fucking make it even more impoverished.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason it became nicer is because they put in gay concentration camps. They fenced in all the gays, and
Yeah.
they couldn't reproduce. You see,
Pastor
so
Worley, yeah.
it
Pastor
cut
Worley,
down
yeah.
on all the gays because they can't reproduce. If you fence them all in, they were just basically catapulting food over the fences.
That's Pastor Worley for you, man. I'm again it.
Yeah,
That being
I'm
said,
again it.
dprjones, let's get your 2 cents on this topic here.
You've been grinning the entire
Well,
time,
I
just like
just
you
have
guys.
to echo those that have just said I'm again it. I just love that video, and it sums up what's so terribly wrong with America. I don't know. I honestly don't understand the issues. Sort of like Octopus criticised me for sort of like speaking the obvious a few moments ago, but yeah, it is speaking the obvious. But why? Why is it that these people have got an issue with why? Not with gay sex, because we know that they're bigoted, but why are they bigoted? What is their problem? And obviously, it's not because they think gay people are going to burn in hell.
Exactly.
There's something more deep rooted to that, and
It's personal, I think.
I
think it's more of a personal issue with many of them.
Projection a lot. Like what's that one GOP lawmaker? He had a profile on Grindr, was it?
And Fear.
But he's adamantly against the homosexuals, but he has a fucking profile on Grindr.
How ironic would it be if the people that fight more for gay rights tend to be more straight than the people who fight against it?
Yeah. Yeah. dprjones, you got anything else? Or
Yeah, sorry.
No. But obviously, Ted Haggart comes immediately to mind when you think about religious teachings and
Oh, yeah.
hypocrisy.
But
Yeah,
wait
it's
a
like-
minute, DPR. Wait a minute. They prayed that away. I mean, that's done.
Oh,
What?
yeah,
pray
right.
that fucking gay.
Oh
away.
yeah, he's not that way anymore. They prayed it away.
Are you kidding
Really?
me? I still go down to the street corner. I'm like, hey man, he's like, what do you need? You want a hand job, blow job? I'm like, no, I need a Haggard.